Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone.
We are from group
3.
So in this video, we will explain to you about our project about linear programming, especially for Simplex methods. But before that, let us introduce ourselves.
Linear technology has developed rapidly, often resulting in the emergence of a new marketing concept, namely online shop, which, if you look at it, recruit two benefit for both sellers and buyer. Okay, CV Advisor is one of the users of online shop. So, CV Advisor is a household equipment distributor company located in Pasuruan, East Java, where CV Advisor has a wide market. So, it must fulfill a maximum production system, be on time, and not disrupt the receipt of product to customers. This is what makes CV Advisor does marketing online. However, CV Advisor also continue to use retail to customers. So, based on this project will decide the maximization of product market by CV Advisor, use online method and retailers. Use linear programming to achieve optimal value, namely the number and price of products sold. The solution to this problem is done using a simple method, which will be explained later.
Okay, now we have the linear programming problem. But before we solve the problem, we must know what is the linear programming and the element of the linear programming. At this time, we will discuss about what is linear programming, objective function, and then constraint function. So, what is linear programming? Okay, linear programming includes activities to achieve certain goals using linear function. And then, what is objective function? Objective functions serve to direct and measure the achievement of certain goals, such as maximum profit in the context of decision making. And then constraint function. Constraint function helps identify the limitation that exists in an effort to optimize the use of resources to achieve a specific goals. Okay. Next, we will discuss about the method that we'll use to solve the problem. The method that we use to solve the problem is the simplex method. So what is the simplex method? The simplex method is a method used to solve linear program problem. So this method is suitable for solve the problem raised. The problem we have is about finding the maximum income where the simplex method can find the maximum value of an objective function and constraint function given. And then we have the step of simplex method to solve the problem. First step is identify decision variables and formulate them in mathematical symbols. Second step is identify the objective to be achieved and the constraint that occur. Third step, formulate the objective and constraint into mathematical function. Fourth step is change the inequality in the constraint and select variables. And the fourth step is enter the data of the objective function and constraint that have been changed into the simplex table. And then we have the standard form of simplex method. We have the maximus or minimum. In this example, we have the maximus yet equal C1x1 plus C2x2 plus C3x3. And then we have the constraint function A11x1 plus A12x2 plus A13x3 less than equals B1 and so on. And we have the x1, x2, and x3 greater than equals 0. Okay, now we know the simplex method to solve the problem given. So next is the discussion to solve the problem given.
So in here, I will explain the Pumpkin Apps result version. So in here, we got the version from Pumpkin Apps, which is the result is in here. You can see in the picture. So the optimum solution is 45,000 and the optimum points is x1 and x2, which for x1 equals 0 and the x2 is 3. And yeah, we get the optimum solution just from only one iteration, because we can see that the iteration that we count it is the iteration 2. Why we not count the iteration 1? Because the iteration 1 is the initial program. So not like the manual's version where we can see the other optimum solution and optimum points. In the Pumpkin Amps, we can just see the optimum solution which is the very maximum solution, is 45,000, which it means that the CV, which is the company, it just only can get the very maximum income, just need to sell the product, which is the shower, only from the retailer method, not the online method. So they just enough to sell the shower only from retailer method, which is equals 3. And from that, the company can get the very maximum income, as the optimal solutions that we can get is 45,000. And the company does not need to sell the product from the online method. So that's all from PumpkinM's result version explanation.
So, in this section, we will find out how to find the optimal value of product sales using the Simplex method through manual calculation and PumpkinM calculation. First of all, here we already have the company's sales data through two marketing methods for 3 months. From here, we will create a mathematical model to help us solve the problem, where the mathematical model that we obtain like this. We can see that we have two variables x1 and x2 with 3 constraint functions. So for the manual calculation, we make sure that the sign of the inequality in the constraint function fulfills what we want. Since we want maximum value, the inequality signs should be less or equal than. We see that the constraint function already has the correct sign, so we only need to add select variables in the form of S1, S2, and S3. Then we make the constraint function as a matrix and put it into the simplex table as the initial program. We do the calculation until we get the key element, and then we do the operation to find the key row transformation and other row transformation based on the key element. After that, we get a new table or the first iteration. In the first iteration, we do the same calculation, and then we get that for all values of zj minus cj are non-negatives, so we can conclude that the table is optimal. Then we get the optimum solution, or the z maximum is 45,000. And the optimum point is 0, 3, where the x1 is 0 and the x2 is 3. In this case, it means that the company will get the maximum sales income of 45,000 rupiah if it maximizes sales through the retailer method. If the company wants to sell through two methods, then we find the maximum sales through the simplex table calculation again, with the note that the value of x1 is included in the basis. In the previous table, we focus on column 1 or column x1. Then we take the key element through maximum 1, 10. And then after we get the key element, we do the same calculation to find the key row transformation and other row transformation based on the key element. Then we get a new table, or this is the next iteration. So in the next iteration, we do the same calculation until we get that all the value of zj minus cj are non-negatives. And we can conclude the table is optimal. So we get the optimum solution, or Zmax, is 40,000, and the optimum point is 1,2, or the x1 is 1 and the x2 is 2. In this case, it means that the company will get the maximum sales income of 40,000 rupiah if it maximizes sales in both methods, that is online and retailer methods.
Okay, and finally, we get the conclusion. Based on the result, it can be concluded that linear programming models is applied to optimize online and retail sales results by selling product with X2 or retailers as many as 3 units without having to sell X1 or online, so we get a maximum profit income. Maximum can be obtained by CV advisor is as big as 45,000. But if you want to sell using two methods in X1 and X2 or online and retails, we'll get 40,000.
So that's all from our video about Simplex method. If we made any mistake, we're sorry. And thank you for watching.
Bye.